Hey YouTube, Shelby Padgett here. We have a ton of boxes that arrived and they are for this guy. So we got a 2006 987.1 Cayman S, and if you haven't seen it, check out my previous videos, but pretty basic, 60,000 miles on her, 6-speed manual, rear wheel drive, of course. And right now, she's looking like she's off-roading. We got quite a bit of space in here, and even more so on the back. And you'll notice we've got a stock exhaust setup wing. I'm working on some stuff here to get the ducktail fixed back up and put back on, or go another route, not quite sure yet, but pretty excited. I've got a ton of parts in that I've been really wanting to see how they work on this car, and they've all been highly recommended too. So let's go ahead and check out what we've got. Up, we've got the Terra Engineering lower control arm. So basically to help the camber on the car maintain, I guess, proper fitting, so that the tire patch on the front, when you lower the car on the coilovers, you're not just wearing out the tires and going through them left and right. It's actually level the footprint, the touchpad of the tire back onto the ground where it's supposed to go. So got a shim kit, and then these are modeled after basically the 997 GT3 lower control arms, I believe. So those will be really cool. We'll check those out once we get them installed with the next part. Probably one of my favorite parts. This is the Öhlins road and track setup again. If I recall, I believe it's, what do they have, like 22 or 29 adjustments? It's crazy. But basically you can adjust this thing on the fly, adjust the dampening for any of the corners of the car, and basically turn it from road and comfort setting to where it's got its softest dampening setting to the track. We can firm it up and go out and rip. So pretty cool. And I've had Öhlins, this will be the third set of Öhlins road and tracks that I've owned. So I've had one on a 135i BMW, another set on a 435i BMW, and then now putting them on the Porsche. I've only seen a couple reviews, actually literally only one guy on YouTube that did a Cayman S. Well, he did a new Cayman, a 981, so, or no, 718 Cayman. So mine will be on a 987. Haven't seen any of those reviews on YouTube or anything, so definitely gonna check that out. Right now I've got the stock Porsche Cayman S suspension. I don't have the PASM, so we'll see how it handles. I mean, right now, honestly, the car is so light and nimble in the corners that it handles exceptionally well as it is. So I just can't even imagine it getting crazier with this stuff, but stuff is top notch. That GT Cup style handling, we'll see if we get there. Lastly is the exhaust setup. So I've been going back and forth with what I want to run. A ton of the guys in the scene, obviously they love fab speed stuff, as well as Soul exhaust, both of which are incredible, and I'd be more than happy to have either of those, but they are very, very expensive. So I did some digging around, did some research. A buddy in an online community for the Cayman S's, he tracks this car regularly, and quite honestly, he's got the Öhlins, he's got these lower control arms, as well as some of the little additional items that he recommended I get when I'm putting all this stuff on. Well, not me, I'm not a mechanic, but when Eurosport in Boise puts them all on for me. So I've got a full exhaust setup. We've got the cats, I'm gonna show you. Headers with cats, so the 200 cell cat, which is significantly smaller than stock. You can see the welds on here. They're pretty good. You guys might already know which brand this is. They are supposedly pretty similar for sound and good fitment as the Soul exhaust. You know, the Soul exhaust sounds insane. I don't know if these are gonna sound as good as the Soul stuff, but from what I've heard, I've you know, you can only see or hear so much on YouTube. So without being able to really experience what the full exhaust note is. But these are supposed to be pretty incredible, and they're literally like half the cost of the Soul stuff and the Fab Speed stuff easily. So that alone was a great motivator for me to go ahead and try it out. The guy that suggested some of the other stuff in addition to this, he does regular track days with this Cayman and is really avid with kind of what goes on with them. And so he suggested these. He's really happy with this setup. It's the Top Gear 200 cell catted headers. Jeez, I must be tired. And then on the exhaust, just the full exhaust stainless steel setup. I don't have the other can out because it's still in the box. Don't want to unwrap all of it. And that it has basically the remotes too. So it's valved exhaust. Buttons here for the valves. That'll be kind of cool just to be able to have that. So I can basically turn it on or off depending on what kind of exhaust note I'm wanting. And again, the welds on here, they look pretty incredible. Not bad, especially for the price. And then he also recommended to use, instead of the gaskets that come with this is the exhaust setup, to use some of the factory stuff from Pelican parts. So I got those, and then the flanges here too for the mounting portions. And then we got a waterproof car fuse holder. This is basically going to replace the setup that comes in that box because that one's it's kind of wonky. So this one's a little bit better quality and it's waterproof. The suspension is just amazing as is. So literally bolt those in, plug and play. We'll dial it in, of course, to get it kind of to a comfort level. I want to do a 4-corner balance as well in the car eventually, but not necessary. I don't go on the track as often as I would like to. And quite honestly, I haven't tracked the car yet at all. And to be honest too, so I've autocrossed in the past, gone go-karting with a lot of friends and stuff, and grew up racing motocross, of course, and bikes and all that stuff. But I've never taken like a car to an actual road course or a track like that. So the goal here is eventually maybe to head down to Utah and do a track day once everything's installed. I'll need the third radiator up front as well for cooling, and then the oil sump tank with the different type of baffling to help ensure that the car stays oiled properly and cool if I were to go ahead and track it. So that's on the punch list down the road. Just wanted to get off the major items while I'm still driving it just for fun around town. And yeah, so that's the goal long term. So yeah, can't go wrong. Olin's Road and Track, amazing. Check them out, look at the reviews, people love them. Lower control arms. This one, you know, I was looking at the Caymans and a lot of people had the GT3 control arms on them. And so kind of did some research, and then the gentleman that helped me sort out these parts all collectively and how they work well together also suggested these specific ones from Tarot. And yeah, so we'll try them out. They're supposed to just make the ride quality on the front end just that much better. So we'll see. And then lastly, we've got these things. These are literally $4.95 a pop off of Pelican parts. And basically they're GT3 or GT4 brake duct routing, I guess, for the airflow. So it'll basically cool the brakes a ton and reroute the air underneath the chassis, underneath the front control arm members, if I recall correctly. So correct me if I'm wrong, could be wrong, but I believe they go right on the front lower arms, pop off the OEM setups, and these just grab a ton more air. So it's supposed to be, quote unquote, the cheapest mod for the best performance on the car. So $10 all in all. We'll see if it makes a big difference or not. So definitely stay tuned. Just wanted to do a little bit of an update video as to what's to come on the car, and also just show you guys how beautiful some of these parts are. Such great attention to detail, craftsmanship, and quality. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, subscribe if you can, like, and let me know if you've built something similar, or if there's anything in particular you've heard that's really good on these cars. So yeah, have a good one. And hopefully I'll get these things on in the next week or so, and we'll get to go play.